good Friday morning. Apologies if there's any wind noise, but the mic's packed in my fishing gear. But I felt I needed to do a quick recording before I went to work. Welcome to another episode, and it seems that what Devon Koi and Koi Run and one or two other people have been warning of me has struck. I appear to be in the grips of new pond syndrome or something alike. Got loads of stringy bits of algae suspended in the water. It's either new pond syndrome or my barley straw pellets have, well, they've all evaporated into nothing really, so I think maybe their use is finished. So I've changed the floss because I'm off fishing straight after work, and I've ordered some barley straw extract and barley straw pellets from NT Labs. Hopefully they'll be here Monday, Tuesday, and I can get them in the pond and get this algae dealt with naturally. I would rather do it that way than add something like clover leaf or any of the other blanket weed products. Got there in the end. I don't have blanket weed per se, certainly not long stringy weed on the walls of the pond, but there is a green weed there, and like I say, there's these bits of stringy green weed floating around in the pond now. I mean, we did have a very hot sunny day yesterday, and we are going to have another very hot sunny day today. I think it's predicted again at the 30s today, so that won't have helped. Obviously the parasol's up again because I've got to protect myself from the sun. It's absolutely baking. So, you know, vlogging is all about honesty, and I appear to have an algae problem, and I'm not going to hide it. I'm going to try and deal with it. So off to work in a minute, then off fishing. I'll see you in a bit. Good Saturday afternoon, and I'm fishing again at the secret lake, and I've had one fish this morning, about 8 o'clock, 20-pound 7-ounce common, which I will put a picture on after this little clip. We've had 6 fish in total. Here's where I'm staying. Jake's dog is sleeping under my bed at the minute. And Connor, my friend Adam's son, has had 5 fish. He's in the best spot, which I fished last time. So he's had 5 fish. His biggest was 26-pound 12, which was a personal best for him, so that was good. Again, I'll put a picture of that up after the video clip. And Jake and Adam have got rods over here, which is the tough swim. Doesn't do many fish, this one. For some reason they prefer the shallower water to the left. But yeah, we're having a great weekend, nice and chillaxed. There's 3 of them sleeping in Jake's shelter, and I'm Billy no mates in my own shelter here. So hopefully you'll enjoy the pictures, and I'll see you back by the pond. Good Sunday afternoon. Well, I'm back from my fishing trip. It was quite a tough weekend. You've just seen some pictures of some of the fish we caught. Only two of us caught. My friend's 17-year-old son Connor had 5 carp with a new personal best of £26.12, I think it was. And I had just the 1 carp of £20 7 ounces. The other two lads, Adam and Jake, failed to catch, unfortunately, but that's fishing. So anyway, enough about that. I'm home. I came home to a pond covered in white foam because the skimmer was totally clogged with blanket weed. But having said that, there's not a lot, now the skimmer's cleaned and running again, there's not actually a lot of blanket weed on the pond. In fact, very little weed. There's just little patches on it, if you can see it, just there. You can see the skimmer's picked up all the foam that was on the pond. And you can tell I've had some blanket weed issues because of the state of the floss I've just took out, which is pretty manky, so that needs a clean. Now I do have some NT Labs barley straw extract and barley straw pellets on order. They haven't turned up yet, but hopefully they will be here tomorrow or Tuesday and I can get them in the pond. I did get these, some NT Labs FMG and Flucosol. I've got them as a precaution really. The Achiba is acting a bit indifferent. He's not really swimming around with the other fish, spending a lot of time in the bottom left corner where the pump is. I did have him out last week for a scrape on Thursday night and found nothing, and that was a mission, just catching him. So I'm just going to monitor him for a few more days and maybe have him out for a second scrape. He did look a bit red around the gills though, so that's why I ordered the Flucosol, just in case it's gill flukes. But other than that, all the fish are looking great. The foam, like I said, has rapidly cleared off the pond, and there's not many patches of green blanket weed like there was Friday before I left to go fishing. So maybe it was just a situation that we had those 2 hot 30-degree days and the algae was a consequence of that, and it's not a consequence of new pond syndrome or anything like that. Anyway, I will get back to you later in the week. Good Monday afternoon, and you find me here by the pond, which is looking great apart from a bit of foam. Skimmer is picking up most of the foam though. Just fed the koi, so they're all happy. And the water is amazingly clear. So before my fishing weekend on Friday, when it was 34 degrees here, I had loads of green algae on the pond. Well, the skimmer and the filtration system appear to have dealt with all that, and I don't really have any algae now, which means these things that arrived today are going to be preventative rather than a cure. And as you can see from the table, we've got the test kits out, some fishing line, I've got my floss out because I need to cut some new floss for the filter. What else have we got? Media bags to put the straw pellets in, rather than tip them all over the bottom of the pond and them looking, you know, pretty naff, to be honest. I am going to put them in media bags and hang them in that corner where the aerator and filter pump is. So I don't think they will look too out of place there. So that's what the fishing line and scissors are for, so I can fill these two media bags up with the pellets and then literally drop them in the water, let them sink down. They'll swell up, fill those two bags, I think. And the barley straw will be restrained rather than spread all over the bottom of the pond looking awful. Hopefully that will look good. The extract, you mix that with a bucket of pond water and then treat your pond. Well, there's enough there for 2,000 litres, which is roughly what my pond is. Like I said before, I'm 100 litres out from being, sorry, 100. It's 2,000 gallons, and I'm less than 100 gallons short of 2,000 gallons. I'll get it right in a minute. So I'm going to do all them jobs and some water tests and probably get back to you when it's all done. On a positive fish note, Diesel the achiever seems to have totally picked up, and he's swimming around with the other fish and feeding, and he's not sulking at all now. So what was up with him last week might have been the heat, I suppose, but he's all fine now. So I'm not going to get him out for another scrape because that was very challenging, to say the least. So that being said, I shall crack on with these jobs and get back to you when I'm done. Welcome back. Still Monday afternoon. I've just done my jobs. So the media bags with barley straw pellets are in that far corner, submerged out of sight. The extract is in the pond. Fresh new filter floss in the top of the shower. And I've done my tests, and pretty good. Only 0.25 of nitrite. Nitrates are only 5. pH has dropped down to 7, and the KH has dropped down to 3. So I think I am going to put some bicarbonate in. Having said that, the GH is still up at 12, so it's mind you, the KH is a measure of the carbonate hardness, so that's the one that needs raising. So my next task this evening may well be to put the fishing shelter up because it's spitting with rain again. But if not, it'll be to add some bicarbonate and see where I am tomorrow. I'm not going to dump it all in one night. So everything else is ticking along nicely. Fish are very, very happy. So I'll be back to you probably later in the week when I've sorted out the KH. Good Tuesday morning. Now I'm running a clean cycle on the pressure filter, and just look at the colour of water coming out of there. And there's a lot of water coming out. So all that muck was in the pressure filter, and it's now on the lawn. I thought I'd give the lawn a walk. Oh, the alarm's just gone off, so I need to reset the pressure filter. So, be back in a bit. So I've cleaned the pressure filter out, and the water levels dropped by a good 10 centimetres as usual for 2 cycles of that. I've got Big Bertha over there, my dechlorinator, pushing water back in, and I put some Colombo fish protect in as well, just to make sure we get all the chlorine out. And I did a pH and KH test this morning, because last night the KH was down to 3, so I put in 2 half cups of bicarbonate of soda, and the pH is back up above 7, and the KH went up exactly 1 point, which is what I expected. No adverse reaction by the fish. Water's not quite as clear today because I put Mediclay in as well last night, so that's sort of working its way through the system. Hopefully by putting some tap water in, that will raise the KH a bit more. If it doesn't, I should put some more bicarb in later, try and get it back up to about 6. That's the plan anyway. So I think that just about wraps this week's video up. All done by Tuesday. So I'll see you in the next one.